Okay, well, SP Tulsian and Mayuresh Joshi are also with us. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Tulsian, first your thoughts on the Bank Nifty and the fact that it's now seeking much lower levels, down 300 points, and from the top it's corrected quite a bit. How would you approach it? And individual stocks in the Bank Nifty, what would you buy now?
Anuj, if you see the 2 days behavior of Bank Nifty, firstly it reminds me of January 2014 when we have seen an all-time high on the Bank Nifty, and at that time everyone was gung-ho, and ahead of the expiry, maybe a couple of days ahead of the expiry, we have seen the Bank Nifty correcting. But apart from that, if you really see the behavior for last couple of days, I think the culprit has been more the Axis Bank. If I'm not mistaken, on Friday when we have seen a fall of 250 point in Bank Nifty, about 140 to 150 points contributed by the Axis Bank alone. And now if you really see the RBI meet ahead of, which is scheduled on 5th October, and it is seen a foregone conclusion that 25 basis point rate cut will be seen. I'm not saying that this is unanimous, but a majority, 50 to 60% of the experts are expecting that. So there is no reason for the PSU banks really to go weak in that scenario. Now come on an individual basis on the heavyweights. I don't see any reason for the HDFC Bank to correct. Maybe no reason for the IndusInd Bank to correct from here on. Kotak is not looking weak, and if you take a call on the stocks like maybe ICICI Bank, with ICICI Pru's IPO having sell through, I don't see any reason for that stocks to correct. So if you take a longer view, or maybe 360-degree view on all the banking stocks, the private sector as well as the public sector ahead of the bank expiry, I don't see any reason for the weakness except for the long liquidations or the weak hand seen exiting, which we have seen on Friday as well as on today, because largely the Bank Nifty was hugely overbought, and everyone has been taking a very gung-ho view on the Bank Nifty having crossed the 20,000 at that point of time. And people, if you talk to the retail traders, they are hugely involved with the options, also holding the call positions on the long side, and even the future positions holding on the long side. So maybe this pain can get go out of system maybe by tomorrow latest, and I won't be surprised to see a bounce back of 200 to 250 points in the Bank Nifty ahead of expiry. Whether that happens today, tomorrow, or day after, difficult to say, but I think that it is in the bottoming out process. And today when you talk to the traders also, or maybe with the dealers, lot of long liquidations got triggered because of the margin call and all that. So swiftly Bank Nifty seemed to have corrected, and now seen having, if not oversold, at least gone, have seen the long positions having got cut. So I'm keeping a positive view from here on, and I'm not keeping any negative view going forward, and I won't advise going short, and brave traders can definitely go for buying Bank Nifty at the current level with a view of maybe next couple of days.
Okay, Mr. Tulsian, hi, afternoon. Wanted to ask you about the new listing, GNA Axles. It's had a pretty good listing, but post this, would you expect more upsides?
So near 2-3 points. If I first take a call on the stock, this is a B2B, this is a T2T stocks, that is in the trade to trade category, and that is where it will remain for next 7 to 10 days. So any price discovery which we are seeing now today is not necessary that it will going to remain sustained there. Number one. Number two, if you compare this company with 3 listed peers, one is Automotive Axle, which is the largest player. Second is a Sundaram Brake Lining, which is again coming from a very good stable, or the TVS group, and third is the Talbros Engineering. And if I take a call on all these things, one criteria which I will look into is the market cap also. If you take a call on the Talbros, the market cap is about 70-75 crore. If you take a call on the Sundaram Brake Liner, that market cap is about 140-150 crore. If you take a call on the Automotive Axle, the market cap is closer to about 1200 crore. Now, while this company will have a market cap of 550 crore, I can argue on the EV to EBITDA or maybe the P multiple also, but you just can't take a company, straight away in comparison with the existing players who have been in existence for ages, and that too from the reputed promoters. One like Kalyani Group for Automotive Axle, Sundaram Brake Lining I've said for TVS Group, Talbros I've again said from the Talbros, who are again the leader in the auto ancillary space. So I won't be taking a call on the stock now unless until it comes out of the trade to trade on first day. As such, I have always been maintaining maintaining that the stock, shows a lot of volatility because of the grey market trades getting settled, and that too in the last maybe couple of hours or so. So I'm keeping my neutral to cautious stance, because one has to, in fact, to assess a company in a right way, you need to see the first quarter numbers also. And apart from that, if you see the equity has jumped a lot, 15 crore to about 21 and a half crore. I agree that maybe on the expanded equity also the promoters will have 71% stake. But if you see the background, while analyzing the IPOs, there are one or two winding up petition against the company. The trade debtors working capital cycle is very stretched. You have the debtors of about 4 months in the books of the company. Books are seen leverage vis-a-vis the other comparable peers are almost at a debt-free level. So I won't be, while comparing them, I won't be taking a call right now on GNA because all the auto ancillary stocks are seeing a very good bias on the market. Investors are really jumping to lap them. That may be the reason, but I will remain away from the stock at the current valuation.
Okay, by the way, must focus back on the market, because at index level, the Bank Nifty has now broken 19,600 and even the mid-cap index has started to decline a bit. But really, if intraday any one index has had a trend day, it's the Bank Nifty. If you see that, it's a consistent declining trend. Even at open, if you would have shorted, you would have made money. It's been that kind of a day. So let's get some technical thoughts from both Mitesh and Ashwani on how to approach both the Nifty and Bank Nifty. More importantly, Bank Nifty. Ashwani, any fresh trades on the Bank Nifty itself?
See, my sense is that we are in an expansionary mode, and the rallies would have come in case we were contracting, we were kind of correcting. But last couple of weeks have been extreme narrow range day, from which the Bank Nifty has come out with strong force. So you'll have very minor pullbacks, as we've seen from 8,700. The pullback is 20 points. So chances are that Bank Nifty will probably lose 500, 700 points before it really does bottom out. So no hurry to get long on Bank Nifty. Rate cut or no rate cut, policy meeting or no policy meeting. This is looking like a bigger correction is on the cards.
Okay, Mitesh, you concur with that, or do you have a slightly different view?
I think we had a negative view on the Bank Nifty when I suggested to buy puts in the morning. I think that's played out nicely. But right now, what I would suggest is possibly trading the Nifty itself. I think keeping a stop of about 30 points. I would short this one for maybe targets around 86.70 to about 86.50. There's about 60-65 point kind of decline which can happen. You can play the same view in the option segment by keeping and monitoring these levels on the spot side.
Okay, well, apart from that, the cement stocks have seen a lot of money being taken off in the last couple of days. Well, not a lot compared to the gains that these stocks have seen, but Ultratech, Ambuja, ACC making an attempt to recover, but once again selling off. So there's definitely some pressure that you're seeing here. We have Mayuresh Joshi, who's also with us. Mayuresh, hi, afternoon. I know the market is under pressure, but I still want to talk about some stocks that have been hitting new highs. And in that space, the oil marketing companies, BPCL is at a fresh 52-week high today. HPCL has been rising. What are your thoughts on whether one can put any fresh money to work here?
So afternoon, Sonia. I think a large part of the gains that have accrued to the OMCs have actually come in the past 4 to 6 quarters where cash flows have improved, working capital constraints have come down, and because there was no subsidy burden on the OMC part, you've probably seen even the bottom line improve for these companies. On the second part, with crude expected to stay in the range between say 45 and 55 for the better part of next year, you're probably expected to see greater synergies come out, and though we adjust for a few quarters both on the inventory gains and losses terms depending on the crude movement, it is really the marketing margins that have really started playing for the oil marketing companies. So the marketing margins for both diesel and petrol, which stand around 1.6, 1.7 at this point of time, if they improve further from the current levels, I think that incrementally adds to the EPS for these companies. Secondly, I think the kind of capex that they're doing at this point of time, and once this capex accrues over the next 2 to 3 years, our own sense is that the GRMs that they're currently enjoying at this point of time would start improving as well, which means even on the refining part, you're probably going to see greater improvement come through on the earnings front. So largely, I think the story is working in favor of OMCs. Whether valuations are supportive, I think valuations looking a little bit fair at this point of time. So the entire sense is that if investors are holding on to the stock from lower levels, I think you should continue holding on to the OMC stocks.
Okay, continue holding on to the OMC stocks. Well, the Nifty is below 8750 now. A lot of cuts seen. In fact, Anuj, this would worry the bulls, right? The fact that the market is closing at the low point of trade?
For 2 consecutive days, it's closing at low point of the day on top of a failed breakout which happened on Thursday. But I'll tell you something, Sonia. I mean, if you look at this market, it's broken 8700 intraday twice this month. One was on 12 September, 86.99 was the low. One was 14 September, 86.88 was the low. So at this point in time, we'll have to believe that did the market make a double bottom and move on. But at 8900 also the market has slipped twice. So I think now it's a game of what gives first. If 8700 gives way and you go towards you break 100-day moving average, that's decisively negative. But all of this would change on a dime if 1 or 2 days you see again FII inflows and you start to see any kind of positive trend in the global markets. Because look,
there's no real reason for the correction at this point anyway.
Yes, I think the one near-term trigger was out of the way, which was both BOJ and Fed. Both decided to do nothing, and so the market may have well priced in a best case scenario, and what you're seeing right now is giving up of those gains, Sonia. So keep tracking the FI data. Today looks like a sell number, even despite the kind of buying that you'll see in Reliance. Reliance will see delivery buying of 400 crores, but the rest of the stocks, especially Bank Nifty, there's quite a bit of selling. What you want from the bulls point of view is to have some kind of FI inflows come back, 500, 600 crores. That will reverse the trend. But if we are still in a big bull market, in that case, once the trend reverses, again, those who would have bought maybe today or say over the next 3 or 4 days in that decline would actually end up making most money, because this market has rewarded anecdotally those who have bought in consolidation and dips. Yes, on the days of dips, they look ugly, but
once the market surges again, you wonder why you didn't buy during that dip.
Exactly. So that's the catch-22 situation right now.
Oh yes, definitely it is. So let's get some more stock ideas then. Mayuresh, anything else that you would look to buy in this market dip?
So extremely stock specific, Sonia, at this point of time, but out of the defense space, Bharat Electronics is something that will still continue at this point of time. Yes, the numbers were a little bit subdued this time round because of what we saw in terms of order clearances from the customer end. But largely our take is that the strong order book that BEL possesses, 32,169 odd crores at this point of time, and that probably gives it a trailing 12-month revenue of around 4.5x. That holds the stock in good stead. Secondly, I think if you look at the overall trajectory, the management still expects a 10-11% top line growth. So our own estimate suggests 9,100, 9,200 odd crores in terms of overall top line by FY18. If you assume margins to probably remain stability in 17.5% for the better part of the next couple of years, and with better execution taking place, the bottom line growth should be quite stupendous as well. Again, the orders that you probably expected to receive, I think, can be quite reasonable over the next few years. And from a valuation perspective as well, I think it trades pretty reasonably. So our own estimates are an EPS of around 60 to 63 odd rupees by FY18. So BL is something that I'll remain positive about, but on declines and in a staggered way for long-term investors.
All right. Well, we need to take a short break because we haven't done that in a bit, but we'll still come back with the last 20 minutes of trade. The markets are going down. In fact, the Sensex is now almost showing you a 400-point cut. It's 382 points and counting, and it's getting quite ferocious, the sell-off in the last 5-10 minutes. So we'll take a quick break and be back with more.
Welcome back. Well, today's been a rank bad day for the bulls because it's just been trending lower. Yes, it was one point to have a gap down, but at no point has the market had any attempt of recovery, not even one attempt of intraday recovery. That's the Sensex. And in fact, if you take a look at the Bank Nifty chart, that's even more prominent, because in the Bank Nifty, it's just been just 1 day sliding linear chart that you have had in today's trade. Good time to get BTST trades. Ashwini and Mitesh still with us. Mitesh, you go first. Sells more than buys?
Yeah, obviously I think we had a buy on BPCL. I think that's one stock which is an exception today, and that's moved up slightly. I would have preferred to buy it around 615 with a stop at 609 for targets of 625. But the other one is definitely a sell call, and that's in Bosch. I think that's breaking down, so sell with a stop at about 23,060 or thereabouts, and look at 22,400 as the target for tomorrow.
And Ashwini, what about you?
Well, ONGC is a sell with a stop of 255, target of 240. Jubilant Food is a sell with a stop of 970, target of 900. And BPCL is a buy with a stop of 610, target of 632.
Okay, so that's the BBC consensus buy. Apart from that, you have 3 sell calls as well. Sanjeev Bhasin is also with us from IIFL. Sanjeev, hi, good afternoon. Now, you have been calling for a correction for the market. Said it's run up a lot. If I remember right, you had expected 8,300 to 8,400. You maintain that view that even today would not be a good time to buy and the market should now dip lower?
Yeah, hi Anuj. Well, we are consistent with our views, and in fact, as a disclosure, 8,900 and 20,100 is where we initiated shorts on the Nifty, Bank Nifty to our clients. We think 8,400 is definitely on the cards, and maybe below that, because it just dawned on most people that relief rally on the Fed no hike was already in the price, and I think now realism is dawning that oil prices are definitely hurting lower, and that in fact will put pressure on the energy producers in the US. So we are consistent with our view. We think 8,400 is the first target and maybe below that, but we'll review that once we get to that level.
Oh yes, 8,400 would be a godsend opportunity for all the big bulls in the market to jump in and buy what they want. But I'll come to that in a bit. I want to ask you about your stock ideas as well. In the meantime, let's find out what's happening in the dealing rooms today. Mangalam Malu is here with Trader Talk. Mangalam, 400 points, almost 400 points and counting now. Are the dealers spooked, or do they, like Shankar Sharma, believe that a 7 to 8% correction is a par for the course?
Well, they didn't give any numbers, Sonia, but definitely they're not as spooked as one would think after a 400-point downtick on the Sensex, because they believe that this weakness is primarily on account of the weakness that we've seen across global markets. The US markets were down on Friday, Asian markets ended in the red, and the European markets as we speak are also in the red. And they believe that after this brief pause, the dealers, they expect the up move to resume. Going forward, one important point that they pointed out was the cash markets volumes were low at around 20,000 crores. So despite the downtick, there is not a very aggressive selling seen as far as our markets are concerned. The institutional flows, while they are mixed, they are also saying that the key aggressive buyers are currently on the sidelines and they are expected to put in some more money once the uptrend resumes. Other than that, 8630 to 8650 on the Nifty, they believe would be a support zone in the near term. And as far as the expiry is concerned, they've given a broad range as of now, 8700 to 8900, something that the open interest is also giving the sense of. As far as the near to mid-term is concerned, the dealers are saying oil marketing companies, that is where some accumulation is seen, along with tire stocks as well as NBFCs. All of them have seen some rallies in the previous few trading sessions, while consumer stocks as well as IT stocks are not finding a lot of buyers. In fact, very few takers for those two sectors.
Okay, Mangalam, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's go across to Varinder as well for a list of buzzing stocks.
Let's start with some of the new names as always. Oasis, TradeLink, and some of these Ayurvedic companies like Kerala Ayurveda and AVT Natural Products are moving up today. Optimus Infracom up nearly 8-9%, and Kandagiri Spinning Mills also moving higher. There are many gainers in small cap space, still. Sakuma Exports up 20%. Sika Interplant, that stock has been buzzing, good volumes, up 20%. Kiltich Drugs, Hindor, MRO Tech, that stock has gained nearly 50% in the last 10 or 12 days. Flex Foods, BPL continues to buzz, up nearly 15% today. Sunstar Reality, Himalayan International, Pioneer Distilleries, HOCL, Capri Global, that stock has gained nearly 100 rupees in the last 3 or 4 days. Ruby Mills, V2 Retail, Lakshmi Energy and Foods. Few gainers which are still holding up in the mid-cap space: Ad Labs, Peninsula Land and Marksans Pharma. There are many losers, of course, today. Look at Prestige Estates, down nearly 6-7%. Minda Corporation, after that huge 5% block deal, that stock was down 7% last time I checked. Pasavnath, IFCI and Shreyas Shipping at the low point of the day.
Okay, Varinder, thanks a lot for that. So we just still have about 10 minutes left for the markets to close, down about 380 odd points. Looks like we're going to close at the low point. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any recovery just yet. Would that be taken very badly by the street?
Yeah, 2 days of market closing at low point maybe counts as a trend reversal, Sonia. Absolutely no doubt about that. But the problem for our market is we are so hostage to global cues. Look, CAC is down 2%, DAX is down 2%, Dow futures is down more than 100 points. So right now what the market has done is it's factored in a 100-point decline in the US market tonight. What if the US market has entered a reversal today and they recover? Then tomorrow morning you'll have a gap up. But if the US markets actually have a trend day and they also close lower, then tomorrow morning you have a maybe gap down and the market takes out the low. But the short point here is, and I sound like a broken record, this is counting the pennies, because so far the market has had such a big bull market from 6,900. So you got to look at that and then maybe take your call. But I want to discuss ONGC stock with you, Mr. Tulsian. Earlier in the day, my colleague Nitya broke the story that the government could be looking at 5% stake sale in ONGC. And the stock, of course, is down 5% as we speak. Your thoughts on the stock?
See, Anuj, I don't think that there is any correlation between the stake sale by the government and this share price to move up or down. Let me just give you the classic example of two buybacks which are already on. One of NMDC and second of MOIL. In fact, nobody is talking on that. And just let me quickly draw your attention to NMDC, where the buyback is happening at 94 rupees and the secondary market price right now is 105. And people are in fact taking a negative call on that. But let me just tell you here that in NMDC, the buyback is such a bullish factor for the stock to go or to move up once the buyback closes on 30th September. Because in that buyback at 94 rupees, the government will be tendering the entire stake, will bring down their stake from 80% to 75%. The company's equity will reduce by 20%, to maybe from 400 crore to 318 crore. So compulsion on the government to mobilize the money to meet the divestment target is one thing which is being contemplated by all these buybacks. So I don't think that this has anything to do with the whatever we may call that from here on going forward the ONGC will not be required to meet any kind of subsidy burden. That is obvious because their realization is so low. If they are fetching just $42, $43 or $45, you can't expect them to even meet the subsidy burden of the kerosene also going forward. And in fact, government doesn't need that, to impose on them. So maybe you just cannot correlate the 5% stake sale because that is bound to happen. And it's a very sensible and pragmatic move having initiated by the government that they are going ahead. As I said that by NMDC divestment, take it from me, on 1st or 2nd October, you are going to see the buy call getting initiated by all the experts on NMDC on the ground that the buyback has subscribed of 400 crore, and that is seen very positive for the stock, and government will coffer that much in their kitty towards the divestment target. So I always consider these events as both independent, and because of that, I am not saying that the stake sale is anything negative or anything positive. I keep my negative stance, maybe neutral to negative stance. I don't see any weakness in the ONGC, nor I see any kind of upsurge, say going forward in the stock. So this is going to remain in the trading range, and the examples of MOIL and NMDC buyback by having initiated by the company confirms this move.
Okay, well, we still have some more minutes to go, so let me get some more calls in. Sanjeev, one of the big losers today is Tata Motors, and now at 530 rupees, Tata Motors is down 10.5% from its all-time, or rather its 52-week high of 600. Is this a good time to buy, or do you think you can get better levels?
Well, we think we can get better levels. There's also been some recall of one of their models. I think that will hurt a bit. And there was a bit of froth above that 575 levels. We think levels closer to 510 or maybe 490 in a deeper correction could be an ideal point. So yes, that would be one good ploy to take place at around that 500, 510 levels.
Okay, well, a lot of stocks have corrected today. In fact, not just Tata Motors and ONGC. Jubilant FoodWorks, where it looked like there was a bit of a bottom formation, that's gone for a toss, and that stock is trading at low point of the day. Idea Cellular is down about 3%. I think Idea Cellular stock is now trading below the post-Jio launch day. That always was going to be an important point to map out. Reliance Capital is down a bit. The big decline is taking place in ICICI. Ashwini, ICICI was among the weakest banking stocks, but it also had a rally. Are you getting a sense that it's headed lower, maybe sub 250?
See, all private banks are headed lower because that is where the most gains are there, and whenever the markets correct, and obviously all global markets, they went up together, chances are they'll come down together. So you don't need India triggers to come down. You'll come down because everybody else comes down. It's possible we get down to maybe even 230, 235 on a bad day, but clearly all private banks are so way off the averages that serious corrections are needed just to get them closer to equilibrium.
Okay, Mr. Tulsian, BPCL is now up more than 3% and HPCL also spiking up. Do you see fresh wave of an uptrend in the oil marketing companies now?
Yes, Sonia, because if you see first on HPCL, because of this tax planning, many investors seen having bought the stock in the middle of the stock has gone ex bonus in the 14th September in the middle of, so maybe for initial for some time about a week we saw selling happening in that stock, and because people have bought it come bonus, retained the bonus and selling the old stocks having bought by them, so that selling seemed to have got over. Similar thing has happened in the case of BPCL also, where the stock has gone ex bonus last month. So I don't see now any reason for both these OMCs to have any kind of negative trigger seen in the near term. And apart from that, Q2 numbers are again seen good for these OMCs, because if you see the behavior of the crude, they have remained stagnant. Maybe in the Q1 because of the rising crude prices, the companies have seen higher inventory gain, and because of that the GRM was seen low, the core GRM, because that was including the inventory gain also. But this time the operations or the Q2 numbers will be only seen reflecting the pure core operations, and market is expecting that to perform or maybe being posted very well by both these OMCs. So I am keeping positive stance on both these stocks going forward, because as I said, I don't see any negative seen in the next 15-20 days or maybe next 1 month or so.
Okay, by the way, while the Reliance stock kept the bulls in the game through the day, the last round of knock actually has come from Reliance, because if you see the intraday chart of Reliance, that stock is trading at low point of the day. The entire market is ending at low point of the day, and look at that move on Reliance. From the high point, it slipped quite a bit. It's actually in danger of closing in the red. Averaging will take it higher, of course, but there's a good chance that even that stock closes at low point. 3 minutes left for markets to close. Sanjeev, your thoughts on Reliance? That's been a lone man standing right now.
Well, Anuj, history tells me generally when Reliance and Reliance Capital tend to peak out, markets tend to correct. So I'd be very, very wary at 1100. It's strange to find it, trading at a 2-year high. But yes, it's a welcome sign that for once energy stocks are actually leading from the front. And I think if the Nifty has to have more teeth to go up, then Reliance should be one of the, builders on the upside. However, in the short run, I think it's fully priced. I would be very wary here. I would wait for a strong correction and then only try and look into it.
Okay, 3 minutes left for markets to close, 2.5 actually. So let's just do a quick recap. It was a bad day for the bulls, make no mistake about that. It was a trend day, and in fact, from Thursday's high point, the bears clearly have sneaked back in, and that's the global picture as well. If you look at most of the global markets, so India is not alone. 1.3% gone in the Sensex and the Nifty today. Let's talk about the stocks that led the market lower. The Bank Nifty, of course, 1.5% lower on the Bank Nifty. So that's clearly had a bit of a bigger trend on the downward side, led by ICICI Bank. That was down 3.5%. HDFC Bank as well. HDFC Bank, of course, has the highest weight in the index. So a 1% fall in HDFC Bank impacts the Bank Nifty the most. IndusInd Bank, the other one. Axis, clearly the market is now believing that this Suti stake sale is happening sooner than later, because the stock has corrected quite a bit. Even before the Bank Nifty started to correct, Axis started to correct. So that's clearly the other stock to watch out for. Then a bunch of heavyweights led by Tata Motors. That stock was down about 3.5%. Again, a global factor for Tata Motors. Larsen and Toubro and ITC were the other stocks where we saw declines in trade today. Bharti and Idea were lower. For Idea, as I said, it was important to see that stock actually going back to 80, because that was the low of the Jio launch day. So that's also a stock to keep an eye on. On the way up, well, Reliance actually ends with 0.25% gain, but that slipped quite a bit from high point. So just keep that at the back of your mind. BPCL perhaps was your stock of the day in terms of stocks on the upside, up 3.5%. Clearly, the big worry from market's point of view is that crude has again started to fall, and that's a big positive for some of these oil marketing companies. And Coal India was the other big gainer, up 1.5%. But Sonia, suffice to say that bad day for the large cap index, but the mid caps, lived for another day. The breadth wasn't that poor actually.
It wasn't that bad in the context of the large cap fall. Yes, that's true. IFCI was the one stock that fell about 6% Jubilant Foods has been falling ever since Ajay Kaul has resigned, so that stock is down another 3-4%. A lot of other losers like Ramco Cements, Just Dial, IDBI Bank, NHPC, South Indian Bank, all these stocks down anywhere between 2 to 3%. Reliance Capital as well sank about 3%. If you're looking at spaces, then it was the infrastructure space that didn't do very well today. So you had names like HCC that came under pressure. Syntex Industries was down, HDIL, IRB Infra, all down about 1 to 2 odd percent. On the upside though, you had oil marketing companies that did very well today. In fact, that was a star pocket today. HPCL, BPCL, IOC, all in the green, bucking the market trend. Adlabs Entertainment was up 11.5%. So there you have it, one more outperformer. And Marksans Pharma was one stock that was up almost about 10.5 to 11 odd percent. So that brings us to the end of another day. Yes, today the bears won this round, undoubtedly. The Nifty and the Sensex are down more than 1%. The Sensex lost more than 300 points. But as Shankar Sharma said, it shouldn't perturb you too much because it comes on the back of a very hefty rally. So let's get some more stock calls then. Ashwini, what is the way to trade tomorrow?
See, as far as I'm concerned, I'm clear that the market is expanding on the downside. And the reason for that is that the earlier rallies from 8700 that you had were only 200-300 point moves, which means that the market was beginning to exhaust. So an exhausting market, once it starts to move on the other side and with momentum, generally tends to overshoot levels that most people think are going to get achieved. So closer to say 8500 would be the first time you would like to buy into the market. So from here, all rallies you should go short on, particularly Bank Nifty, if it gets anywhere close to 19,900, 20,000 kind of zones. So I believe if you just hold on to the puts that were suggested on Friday, I think you will do fairly well if the market gets to 8,500. This does not look like a market which will turn from 8,700. Probably it's a global correction that's starting out, and markets correct when everybody has gone long, and that was the sense you were getting at 9,000. They don't need a trigger, or if a trigger comes, they'll fall even faster. But if there is no trigger, they'll manufacture one. So chances are that we are heading into a correction, and this will be probably the first negative month after 7-8 positive months.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks a lot for your time today and taking us through a tough hour for the markets. Our closing bell money control question of the day was, has the market made a near-term top? 70% of the respondents agree, while 30% disagree. Of course, today's move would have influenced a lot of votes. Warren Stu saying that there's a 50-50 possibility that it may make one more attempt to scale the top in October. However, on fundamental basis, investments is only prudent below Nifty at 7,000. The market will definitely catch up with fundamentals before this year end.
Well, I must tell Warren Stu, everything is a 50-50 possibility in life, right? It could go this way or that. But Abhis Kit says if you manage to pick the right stocks, you will not have to worry about index levels. That is so true. And Gautam NR says, till we get any indication of liquidity withdrawal, the market would continue the uptrend. Hence, one should be wary of building shorts in the current market as there are no signs of liquidity reversals.